Hello, I am Belinda and I'm going to show you guys how to make the most amazing and delicious breakfast recipe that is high in protein, that will keep you going for the whole day. And it's super easy to make, especially if you're doing it as a part of your meal prep. You can sit them in the fridge or your freezer and literally grab them out, chuck them in the air fryer for like 5 minutes before you head to work. Take it with you on the run. It's so easy to eat and so delicious. Got lots of nutrients in there, which I'm always a fan of. As a nutritionist, I really find it important to make sure that your breakfast is high in protein and also contains lots of nutrients to get you through the day and to set you up for the day as well, because we all want to be full of energy for the whole day. And some of the breakfasts we opt for, let's just say they don't really leave us feeling energetic for very long. So this is going to be your new go-to breakfast recipe. So to start off with, I've actually defrosted some shortcrust pastry. Just any from the supermarket is fine. I'm not too picky when it comes to this kind of thing because we are getting lots of nutrients in there. I know a lot of people say don't have much pastry, but like I am one for the saying that goes everything in moderation. And if you're having a really high protein breakfast that has some shortcrust pastry in there, it's actually such a good meal. Like, I don't want you to ever feel guilty for eating pastry. Things that are often baked in with pastry are full of like sugar and full of, I don't know, like just ingredients that I probably wouldn't like to eat very often. But when you make something yourself using store-bought shortcrust pastry, literally like the things you put in there are going to make it into such a good meal. And this is not very easy to overeat on. So I think a lot of pastry foods are very easy to overeat on, whereas this, like having 1 or 2 servings of this for your breakfast, whatever sort of meal size you like, will keep you going, and you won't want to then just keep eating more, because that's often what I find. Like, you know, people cut out bread or cut out potatoes because they think that's what's making them gain weight. Usually it's because they can be easy things to overeat on. So as long as you stick to a good portion size, which these, I'm going to be making mini quiches, so super easy to portion out for the day, for the week. So to start off with, I'm going to cut some pastry into some little baking tins and blind bake them in the oven. So now that the pastry is blind baking in the oven, I'm going to chop up my onion, and I'm going to fry up some onion and bacon and then slightly let that cool while I mix up all the egg and the other ingredients. I just think that quiches taste so much better when there's fried onion and bacon rather than just like adding raw stuff in. So I'm going to chuck this all in the fry pan and brown it up. All right, so now that the bacon has cooked, the bacon and onion, and it's cooling down a little bit, I'm going to mix up the rest of the ingredients. So I have some eggs, which I'm going to be cracking into this bowl. All right, so I'm going to be adding in all of my seasonings. Got some minced garlic. I've got sriracha. Well, it's actually like a cayenne pepper. This is a cayenne pepper sauce, which, just so you know, cayenne pepper is the only chili that doesn't act as an acidic. It actually acts like as alkaline, so it makes our pH levels so much better. And so pretty much if you love chili, cayenne, do it. It's so good for you. Like, it's literally the only one that I actually like to use in our meals now. All right, so I've got some cottage cheese. Scrape all that in there. For this spinach, I've decided I'm actually going to quickly add it to the pan so that it wilts a little bit. It's just going to make it a lot easier to mix in there rather than having like big leaves. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to add in half of my cheese. and mix it all in. I'm gonna leave the other half to sprinkle on top of the quiches. So these are being blind baked now for 10 minutes. So I'm just gonna let them cool down slightly while I give this a whisk. All right, just grabbing a whisk. I'm just going to, let's get all together, baby, yeah, yeah, yeah. This seriously looks so good. So Jordan's obsessed with these eggs because they really have like a super yellow yolk. Like the yolk is so tasty for him. I do not like egg yolk. I'm a bit weird. I love egg whites and I'm actually glad because it gives me a lot of protein. But egg yolks, I don't know, it kind of grosses me out. I'll eat them if they're in something like this, but I don't really enjoy eating like actual just full cooked eggs on their own. All right, so I've got my spinach, my bacon and my onion in here. Let's get that utensil out of the way. All of that deliciousness. All right, gonna mix it all together. The reason why I let the bacon and onion cool a little bit before I add it, because you don't want it to start like cooking the egg. You want the eggs starting to cook when they're actually put in the oven. But seriously, if you guys could smell, that's amazing. I'm gonna season it with some salt and pepper. I've already got a little bit of like herbed salt in the seasoning mix, so I'm gonna write that in the description box so that you can actually see what herbs and spices I use. Feel free to make it your own, but that's a good bit of salt and pepper in there as well. Round and round, partner. All right, I'm gonna chuck them in our little shells. Let's get our little shells over here. See, these not long come to the oven and like it's a bit hot, but not like too bad. It's like not too bad to touch. I've got really weird hands. They're like not very heat sensitive. I'm just gonna chuck these back in here. So I literally use these legumes, like every week I make these, I reuse the same legumes. I've been reusing the same ones for like, I don't know how long. So it's just like one bag, oh, that one's a little bit hotter. It's just one bag of chickpeas that I've literally just like continued to use. So obviously, if you're like a normal person, you probably need to get, actually get hold of a tea towel. It's not too bad to touch, but most people I think would definitely need a tea towel. And this is like my husband's favorite breakfast. Actually, it's his equal favorite. I make these Ned Kelly pies, which I'll do a video of those as well. And so Ned Kelly pie is like a meat pie, short crust pastry, and then the minced beef mixture with like lots of gravy, and then fried bacon on top, a whisked egg like with some salt and pepper, and a sprinkle of grated cheese on top, and then the puff pastry on top. Cook it in the pie cooker, pie warmer, pie maker, whatever that thing is. And then I chuck them in the fridge, and he loves those for breakfast as well. So either that or these. I love it when he has these just because I know that like I can sneak some other kind of veggies in there. Sneak, sounds like I'm feeding a little child. I promise he's better than that. He actually likes veggies. Thank God that he likes veggies because I love them too. All right, so scooping these in. All right, I'm just going to sprinkle with a bit of the Parmesan and then chuck them back in the oven. Let's go.